Hi, everyone. Welcome back to A Life Well Spent, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kelly. I make videos on budget. I'm documenting my financial journey. And so the videos are all about money, my financial goals, charting how I am doing on those goals and things of that nature. I am single, so I have a little bit more difficulty, I think, like kind of bouncing ideas off people because not everybody wants to talk about money. I know, right? It's crazy. A lot of people, there's a lot of shame that people have around money, and I always feel like I'm getting like super pushy around my friends and like coworkers when I talk money, and like I need to talk about these things. So I thought, why not start a YouTube channel? Crazier things have happened, right? So I started this probably back in November of 2020-ish, maybe. I think realistically, I started it a couple of years ago. I just didn't really have time to make videos the way that like I would have wanted to make them because I was doing a lot. And so I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. I think there's like an unboxing video of FPU and like something else. And I thought ultimately I don't like that I can't do this the way that I want to do it. And I don't really have the time to edit anything. So I just won't do it. And I got to the point where I thought I've just got to do it. I think it's so important to me to be held accountable to how I spend money because I can only hold myself accountable. And to, kind of go through this journey, this financial journey. And I thought I would really, like, I've been putting it off, and I don't want not being able to create videos that I would want to be able to create to keep me from creating anything. So I started, I was actually working 2 jobs, going to school for a graduate program and doing an internship at the end of that program. So life has been nuts. And ultimately it's just been screencasts. Lots of errors that I'm not editing out because I don't have the time to do that. My internship is finished though. I mean, last weekend. It is Monday now. I submitted all of my stuff by Saturday. So that's done. I did expect to spend the week catching up on all the yard work that needs to be done because my grass, y'all. I don't mind being a single woman, but it would be really, really nice if there was a male around, or a female, I don't care, a partner of some kind around that I could pawn yard work off on when I'm too busy. It has needed to be done. It has needed to be done. But I had 3 papers that were 20 pages each due in 3 weeks. So yeah, I had to get cracking and something had to give, and that was the yard. And my yard, I cut my grass once in April. It absolutely has needed it for probably a solid week, to the point where it has been at a week of, ooh, I don't know about the height of that grass. That's it's gonna be a bit challenging to cut. Might have to get out there with like, a sickle. Is that what it's called? A sickle? Scythe? One of those? I don't know. Is that the same thing? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, it's gonna be bad. It's a push mower too. Like, it's not a riding mower because I live on a hill, so it's gonna be rough when the time comes. That time was gonna be today, and I didn't know that it was gonna rain all day, or else I would have sucked it up and take care of it yesterday. I took care of some other things that were like, ooh, this is really pressing, I need to do. Yeah. So we're doing this video instead. But once I get my yard caught up, then I will actually have time. I can properly edit something and get all the rambling out and what have you, or at least most of the rambling. So all that to say, if you are new here, you've not seen this before, but if you're not new here, I apparently have a tendonitis, and this really, it helps me like remember more than anything. I'm left-handed, so I use my left hand for everything. And I still do, but like I can't quite bend it in the way that makes it hurt with this on. But it's a problem because like I reach for things and I'm like, oh, wow, that's right, it hurts. This reminds me that it hurts for the most part. We'll see if the steroids they gave me fix the problem too. But anyway, that's I think all that's up with me right now. Like I said earlier, I do budget videos, financial videos. Mostly right now, I'm just documenting my financial journey. I found that it was really, really easy to keep track of cash. And that's how I knew how well or how much money I was spending and how much I had left to spend. But then the pandemic hit and I was buying a lot of things online. And I was, buying things with cards if I had to go into a store because I didn't want to be handling cash. And my spending got out of control really quickly. I was spending way more than I realized. And so I started trying to like figure out a way. And that's where finally the videos, I think in probably November, picked up. Like I actually started doing it legit so that I could track what I was spending because it was nuts. So that's what these are. So I do like a weekly wrap up spending video. I do kind of a monthly closeout of my budget. I will do a video for the next month's budget. I do some net worth assessments. And I really would like to actually get into financial topics and conversations, investing, things like that. But I'm just not quite at that stage yet. Don't quite have the time. I'm getting there and I would love to be able to do that in the future. But as of right now, it really is just budgets and stuff. So if that's something that you're totally into, hit the subscribe button. I upload videos. I mean, you're going to get at least one a week, and some weeks you'll get more because I'm doing more, what have you. And I'm just doing it and putting it out there. I'm not really, it is what it is. I'd rather, like I said earlier, I think I said this earlier. I would rather put something out there that's not quite the right quality that I would like, and that's a little bit out of, a little bit nuts, than nothing at all, and just kind of wait and never do it. So got to start somewhere, and I'm okay with it. Now, getting into my budget for April. So this is my budget template. I'm still kind of tweaking some things and figuring out what it is that I want, but let's just run through the numbers, and I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. I'm never very quick at this, but I feel like 30 minutes is a long time to watch for a budget. So I'm going to try to do this in 15 minutes when I'm halfway there. So my income, $2,905.80. My mother gave me $300, and my miscellaneous extra income, which is like if I have this budget line for like if I get reimbursed for something from a conference that I went to, or to travel for work or something like that, or I returned an item, stuff like that. It kind of all goes there. $31.72. I got reimbursed for something. My mother, what she gives me, so this is she pays my student loan payment because that's the agreement we had when I went to college. My parents and I had when we went to college. So she gives me $200 a month to put towards that. And then she gives me money towards what I budget anyway, is the money that she gives me towards our cell phone. We have a shared cell phone plan in my name. And then she ended up giving me more because, well, I'll get into that in a second. But if, I also use this for like, if I buy her something and she reimburses me or what have you, like it's usually for that kind of stuff. So very often it's going to be more than we actually budget for. Cause usually like if I'm at the store, I'll say, hey, I'm at Sam's. Do you need anything? Oh yeah. Give me this, and this. And then, she puts some money in my account. So that's how that works. All right. So total then, money coming in this month is $3,237.52. Giving, $10 goes directly in. This giving is kind of set up weird. So $10 goes directly to something, and I honestly don't remember which one it is. Let me see if I can look over here. Aha. So $10 goes to Planned Parenthood because I did a monthly thing and I stupidly set it up on PayPal. So it like pulls directly out of my checking account, my main checking account that's linked to my PayPal. Cool. Really smart, really smart. I didn't realize that until after I did it, that I was like, wait a minute, that's supposed to come out of a fund in my other account. Darn it. So it's $100 total. 10 goes right out of the checking account. So that's kind of why I keep it this way. So $10 comes out of the checking account. My mortgage then $676.03. My electric bill is $44.45. My natural gas bill is $115.06. That's way high for April. I'm so annoyed about how cold it was. Typically about April, when April comes along, like maybe after like the first week of April, I knock my thermostat down to like 36. And so it won't kick 36, 65. It won't kick on until it drops below 65. But we've had so many nights where like it was in the 30s or the 20s, or I'd wake up and it was like 36 degrees outside. which is a pain. So that kicked it on way more than it would normally be. So that's way higher than it should be, and I'm very annoyed. And hopefully, and now it's going to start, May is starting out rainy and chilly, so it'll probably kick on every once in a while. Annoying. But I'm thinking of just sucking it up and turning it off and be done with it. So sewer, $58. That's a flat rate, whether anyone is in this house for a month or not, paying it. $18.97 is sort of a flat rate. So it is the base rate that you have to pay at least that amount. And you get so much usage with that, or so many gallons with that amount. And I rarely ever actually go over it. Every once in a while I do. I'm actually going to put some drip irrigation in this year, so I may end up going. I'm going to be interesting to see like more consistent watering habits for my garden and see what that does. But as of right now, $18.97. It's kind of a flat rate for me because I don't quite get to the most of it. Garbage is $15. I do pay that once a year to get a cheaper rate, and so I just set the money aside and so that it's ready to pay in December. My internet, $125. So, part of what comes out of what my mother, gives me, we also do some shared, internet stuff. Well, not internet, shared TV. This is my internet and TV combined, which to be perfectly honest, I would get rid of TV. But there's still some things that my dad really likes to watch. And, he's gone through, a lot of like injury and illness and stuff, and he's kind of bedbound. So I'm happy to do it. It just is what it is. I hope he's around longer, but if he's not, then my mother and I will I'll get rid of TV. I don't need it. I would rather do like Hulu and Sling or something like that. I can go without anything really that's on cable television. I don't really care that much for it. So yeah, cell phone, $43.34, and that's a shared plan with my mom. We split that in half. Groceries, $129.52. I was under on that, so I was happy with that. Life insurance is $7.50. Gas, $34.86. I think that's one tank of gas, because gas went really up. I think it did anyway. I think I got like one tank of gas in February, one tank of gas in March, so I was kind of like, wait a minute, $2.99 a gallon, is that a lot? More than usual? Like, I realized that. I feel like that is a lot, period. But like, is that a lot more than usual? I couldn't remember because I honestly couldn't remember the last time I got gas. But needed to fill up. I was like almost empty. So is what it is. But I was way under because the trip I had planned to take, I didn't actually take. I was going to get a bed and a mattress from IKEA, which is about 3 hours away. I was happy to do it. We were going to make a day of it. And then they ran out of the bed that I wanted, so I didn't take it. I didn't go, so that's annoying, but c'est la vie. But that's why I upped gas and my restaurant money, because I was going to eat at a place down there that I'd been dying to eat at. Didn't go, so had that left over. Thank goodness I had it left over, because I went way over on House and Garden. Parents, this is just something that part of what my mother also pays for. Is we do a shared Apple plan, or like a family plan for Apple, or phones and whatnot. And I didn't realize when I did that, like I did it to give my parents access to like the digital stuff that I have. And in almost every case they have the movie. It's just easier because of my dad and his situation, like to just, have Alexa, pull it up and play it. So, yeah, it just, whatever. Anyway, again, happy to do it. I didn't realize that when I did that, it was making my credit card the default, I guess it's my debit card, the default payment for that. So anytime my mom pays something, or if she had a subscription to an app that renewed or whatever, I get the charge. I don't mind. It's no big deal. I just send her a screenshot and laugh at her, and she sends me the money. It's fine. But that's kind of where that goes. Ay. So, and anything else, anything I end up buying them that I don't plan to buy them will go in there. So oftentimes I won't budget that and it'll go in there anyway. House and garden, I went over $281.43 is what I spent. That's $131 over. And yowza. I went a little plant happy, I'll be honest. I saw these gorgeous forsythia and I ended up buying more expensive ones. And I think I talked about that in one of my wrap up videos. And I ultimately, like, I could have taken them back, but I was like, I think these are more what I want anyway, size wise. The ones that were like, I thought they were 2 for $20. And I think 2 for $20. And I was like, oh, I'd totally get those. And then I couldn't find them anywhere. So I just assumed that the ones that I had were the right ones because I couldn't find any other ones. And they were not. And then when I looked at the tags, the ones that were like 2 for 10 were going to grow like 11 feet tall or something. And I was like, that's too tall. I don't want to deal with that. Where the ones that I got were like much smaller and more compact. I thought that's kind of the one I want anyway. So I just kept them. And I got some other things for my yard that I needed. Restaurant, $42.10. Personal was $98.37. So I went over a little bit on that. And the reason is I had an opportunity to buy Hulu for the year. And it was going to save me like $2 a month. So I thought, I'm totally doing that. But I wasn't necessarily planning on paying it, but that's where that money came from. And then miscellaneous, $42.38. I bought a gift for my mentor, and realistically, I would have put it on May's budget. In fact, I intended to when I was kind of building out the budget for May. However, it was more of a fear of missing out. There were like 2 left, and it was like it's the perfect gift for him. And I like bit the bullet, and I was like, whatever. I've got money left over. I'm still under, even with the overages in individual categories, I'm still $40.22 under. So good with that. I'm good with that. Student loan payment, $200. You can look at the actual amounts there. My moving, etc. fund, I think I moved the 8273 over as a, like, I was trying to like zero it out to something, which was stupid because I just took money out and then it's not zeroed out anymore. But I don't know. I do that. So that's what that was. And then I pulled out of that the money that I spent for my MacBook because I bought a new MacBook this year, which I'm okay with it. I've honestly been thinking about, I've been needing one for years now, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I've gone to buy it so many times and been like, nope, I'll wait. I'll try to still make do. And finally I was like, I can't do it anymore. So that was that. And I put that out of my, like, it's a moving / etc. fund because it was the money that I piled up during the pandemic. And then I had, like, I intend to possibly, well, I don't intend to move necessarily, but I intend to get a different job. And with that may have to come a move. And I just don't really know how much that's going to cost me or what that's going to look like or whatever. So I'm just kind of keeping the money there until I know what to do with. Ultimately, I will probably, like if I were going to move in like 3 weeks, yikes, let's say a month and a half. Let's say I had to move in a month and a half. Or it turns out like I get the job that I'm looking for and I don't have to move. Like I can move that money into kind of my student loan fund and just, know that I've like kind of, that I've paid that off and then work on the, building up like an actual big emergency fund. Because right now my emergency fund is only sitting at $1,000. Car repair, I added $50 to that fund. I spent $200 out of my admin cert fund. So in the fall, I put together a fund of everything that I was going to need. So the tuition for the rest of my classes, the cost of my certification exam, the cost of my application for my certification, all of that. And so I have $37.57. What I will probably do next month is move that into something else because it doesn't need to sit there anymore. And I'm just going to get rid of that as a fund. Or rather, I may switch that to a different, just call it something else and then move the 37 anyway. We'll see. We'll decide. Let's see. $16 went to my Nittany Lion Club. So that is part of my giving. I just keep, it's always been a separate line item and it's a separate transaction that I'm just keeping because I don't feel like going in and getting rid of my automatic transfers and stuff. Garbage, $15. That's the bit from up there. $74 to my giving fund, $59 to my car insurance fund, where I pay my insurance out every 6 months. So is what it is. I actually could probably shop around and get a better rate, but no, actually, I'm happy with the company, but I probably could like knock it down to something because the car isn't really worth all that much, but I gotta do some more research in there and find out like what's the best route to go. I don't think it's terribly expensive, so let me see. I put $611.59 into my student loan fund, and then the mattress and bed fund got $447.14, which is more than I anticipated. It's whatever the leftover was went into there. And I did that because actually that'll probably be about enough for me to get a new bed and a mattress when the time comes. And so I might put a little bit in there next month and kind of round it out so that it's $1,500. But other than that, we'll see what the end of the month looks like. My student loan fund, I will probably also take some money. I almost like want to take money out of my savings and like just be like, oh, okay, let's just make that 5,000 even, and go from there. Hey, but 36.34%, man, that is 36.34% funded. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's how I did this month. If you have any questions, let me know if you have any questions about my budget template. I'm still working out the kinks and working out exactly how I want to keep track of things. And so far, this seems to be working okay for me. I did give money for a sympathy gift that came out of my giving fund, but I actually got money refunded to me for a thing that we did in March Madness. And so I just put it towards that. Or the plan was, I should say, to take it out of my giving fund, but I actually used it with like the money that I got back from my March Madness, which I did not do as well as I had hoped, but was enough for the fun, not enough for the gift. Yeah, so let's see here. Lots of lawn and garden stuff. And I had way more. I mean, it's annoying because truthfully, like I don't regret buying them, but I still haven't been able to plant them yet because I just haven't had time, and I intended to have time. So it is what it is, but there's part of me that's like, dang it, like I could have spent that money this month. So, could have waited. Anyway, that's it. That's the budget for April. It's closed out. It's ready to go, and that's that. I will do a net worth assessment video probably the next day it rains this week and I can't do any work outside. So that's annoying. That may actually be tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like it like maybe isn't going to rain, but it maybe is. So we'll have to see how that goes. But until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.